Okay, so before first, let me complete the remaining part of chapter number 3. So in the remaining time, I would like to discuss a news article related to transportation, one of the logistical drivers of supply chain from the Times of India. So let me share the PowerPoint slide first. Okay. Students, can you see the PowerPoint slides now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So if you can recall before your IA1, okay, so we had almost reached to the last part of chapter number 3, supply chain drivers and obstacles. So I will just browse through what we have discussed in the previous classes. Drivers of supply chain performance. Then so far we have completed the logistical drivers, that are facilities, inventory and transportation. Okay, so I hope you can recall. And how we learned was what are facilities. So role of facilities in the supply chain, role of facilities in the competitive strategy, and the components of a facility decision. Okay, and thereby facility related metrics, how the components of facility decisions are evaluated, okay, using facility related metrics. So in the same way, we have learned about inventory, okay, as well as transportation. These three are logistical drivers of the supply chain, and we have learned how each driver contributes to the responsiveness or efficiency of a supply chain. You should remember. Then we started the discussion on cross-functional drivers with information first, information driver, then sourcing driver, okay. Okay, so I think this was the last one. So pricing was remaining, pricing driver, okay. So anybody can recall whether exactly we had to start from here or any one or two slides were left out?
Sir, we have completed role in the competitive strategy.
Role in the competitive strategy till here of sourcing.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so very good, thank you. So this is Shruti.
Geetanjali, sir.
Geetanjali, yes, Geetanjali. Thank you, Geetanjali. So we'll continue from the next slide. So we discussed, okay, our sourcing, the role of sourcing in the competitive strategy in the last class before I1. Okay, so that is on 15th, okay, April. So we'll continue from here. Role of sourcing in the supply chain. Okay, so sourcing is nothing but a set of business processes are required to purchase goods and services in a supply chain, okay, to manufacture their main product. Okay, the company need to decide which tasks will be outsourced and which tasks will be performed within the firm. So the different tasks that are performed in order to manufacture goods and services include, for example, okay, uh, components or spare parts. Say if you consider automobile, okay, it may include engine, tires, battery, seat, okay, automotive paints, for example, simple things that which we can see. So whether the company will decide to manufacture these parts or they will outsource it means they will buy it from some other company. Okay, so that is what we call decide which tasks will be outsourced and which tasks will be performed. So this is related to facilities. So other tasks can be inventory management, for example. Okay, or transportation, for example, whether it has to be performed in-house like Walmart, or it can be outsourced to transportation companies. So the major components in sourcing include supplier selection. See, because understand, okay, the price, quality, and on-time delivery, okay, from the supplier determines the quality and cost of the finished product. So if the supplier is unable to supply the components or raw materials at a lower price, then the price of the finished goods also will go up for that matter. Say delivery, for example, if the supplier's delivery is slow, okay, it means the buyer or manufacturer has to maintain a large quantity of inventory, which will increase inventory carrying cost and reduce the efficiency of the supply chain. So same way, whether the company should give the contract or outsource the business, outsource the task to a single supplier or to more than one supplier. Okay, and what type of a contract will be negotiated between the suppliers if the tasks are outsourced with the third party. Okay. Then sourcing decisions are crucial because they affect the level of efficiency and responsiveness in a supply chain. So I explained you with respect to delivery timing as well as the cost of the raw materials in the previous slide. Okay, so this way sourcing decisions are crucial because they affect the level of efficiency and responsiveness in a supply chain. Okay, the major decision in sourcing driver is whether to perform the task in-house or to outsource the decision. So I have been giving you a very simple example which you can understand about one of the transport task is the transportation of the finished goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. So who will perform this task? Whether the company will perform the task in-house, it means the company has to purchase trucks, hire drivers, train them, pay them, okay, and maintain the trucks, okay, and so many other aspects will come into picture. It's not only about purchasing trucks, okay. Then, or the company can also outsource the task of transportation to transportation companies. So many companies are doing it. I gave the example of Varun Beverages in Dharwad, for example. Okay, they manufacture and supply Pepsi soft drinks to 10 districts in North Karnataka. Okay, as well as KMF in Dharwad. Okay, they manufacture milk and milk products and distribute it in more than four districts, I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, including Goa for that matter. So these Varun Beverages and KMF in Dharwad have outsourced the task of transportation to a third party or outside transportation companies. Okay, so a company will, on what basis the company will decide whether to perform the task in-house or it has to be outsourced. Okay, the decision which will improve the efficiency and responsiveness of the supply chain will be considered. Say, for example, if the task is outsourced because the third party, say for example, a transportation company has expertise, okay, has expertise in transportation business. Okay, and they can also consolidate the orders from different customers and fill the truck. Okay, full truckload is very important to reduce the transportation cost. Okay, so and thereby they can reduce the, by consolidating the customer orders, they can fill a truck and reduce the transportation cost. We call it consolidation. So transporter can consolidate the consignment and bring down the cost of transportation. So if an outside party like a transportation company can perform the task better than the company, then the task should be outsourced, definitely. But if say the company makes some analysis and it realizes that the company can perform the task of transportation in-house better than the outside transporter companies, then the company should purchase trucks and perform the task of transportation in-house, just like Walmart. Okay, so I think that example is more relevant here than Cisco example. Okay, so any queries here? Okay, let me complete this and let's go ahead. So what are the components of sourcing decisions? What decisions are taken with respect to sourcing driver? So the first decision itself is whether to perform a task in-house or outsource the task. I gave you different examples. And the decision depends upon which decision will improve the efficiency and responsiveness of a supply chain. Just previous slide I explained. Then second decision is supplier evaluation and selection. So what are the criteria for selecting a supplier? Supplier here means the outsourcing company. Say if the task of transportation is being outsourced, many transportation companies will quote or bid for that task. Okay, so on what bill? Let's say if 10 transportation companies have submitted their bids or quotations. So how this company, Warren Beverages, for example, or KMF, for example, are going to evaluate? What is the evaluation criteria for selecting one supplier or transportation company in this case? Say if there are suppliers of raw materials, for example, there can be different suppliers of raw materials. So when you advertise, okay, for the supplier of raw materials, many suppliers will send their bids or quotes. Okay, let's say about 15 suppliers of raw materials have sent their quotations. So what is the criteria to evaluate and select the best supplier of raw materials? Generally, the selection criteria will include quality of the materials. Second is, okay, delivery, timing of delivery it is, then service. These three are major components. The fourth component can be price. Okay, fourth criteria can be price. Then procurement process. So what is the procurement process? So whether it is going to be centralized or decentralized. Then the overall trade-off a manager has to make. Okay, in source with respect to sourcing driver is, okay, how to increase the supply chain profits. Okay, so if the company can outsource a particular task, and if the third party can perform the task at a lower cost than the company itself, then definitely it leads to or increases the supply chain profits. Okay, but if the company wants to keep control, if the company wants to keep control over a particular task, okay, then they cannot outsource the task to a third party. If we give it to a third party, controlling the third party will become more difficult. Rather than that, the company would prefer to perform the task in-house. Okay, so generally, for example, production, okay, or operations. Generally, companies do not outsource assembly or production of the finished goods. Company may invest in huge plant and, okay, huge plants or factories, and they perform the function or task of production in-house because they want to retain control over it. Okay, so that's all about sourcing decisions, and we'll conclude with how these sourcing decisions are evaluated periodically using sourcing related metrics. The first metric which is used to evaluate the sourcing related decisions are average purchase quantity. Average purchase quantity measures the average amount purchased per order. So let us say if the company has a placed order for 50 times in a year. Okay, so total quantity order divided by 50 will give you average purchase quantity. Okay, then fraction on time deliveries. Okay, measures the fraction of deliveries from the supplier that were on time. So let us say if the supplier has made 50 deliveries in the last 1 year, okay, and there will be a stipulated time period in the contract. Say the customer from the time of ordering, the supplier should deliver the goods within 10 days, for example. So out of the 50 deliveries made by the supplier in the previous year, how many deliveries were made within 10 days? So that measures, that is the fraction on time delivery. So you can find out, so whether the supplier is efficient in delivering on time or not. Supply quality. Supply quality measures the quality of product supplied. Say for example, in case of machine components. So when the supplier supplies the machine components, so each component will be tested. Okay, before it is put into the main product. So we need to ensure that whether the component or part functions properly or not. Okay, so do we call that quality control? So let's say 100 units are tested and 10 units are not functioning. So we means 10 are rejected and 90 are accepted and sent to the assembly line or production. So what is the rejection rate? 10%. Okay, so there will be a ceiling limit for quality control rejections. Say for example, 5% for in that case. Okay, if more than 5% of the materials are rejected, it means the supply quality is poor. You may consider a new supplier next time. In supply lead time measures the average time between when an order is placed and the product is arrived. This is actual. Okay, so every time an order is placed, when the order is placed and when the goods are received by the company. So what is the total number of days? So for each delivery, it can be found out, and you can also take the average supply lead time as well. So if it is more than the agreed time, let's say for example 10 days. So it means that supplier is not responsive enough, is not making the deliveries on time, due to which, okay, many times the company would have run out of raw materials, or it have forced them to maintain a high level of inventory, which might have led to increase in inventory carrying cost and thereby reducing the efficiency of the supply chain. Okay, so I hope that's all about sourcing related metrics, or how sourcing related decisions are evaluated. Okay, so any questions? Yes, students, any
No,
questions?
sir.
So I hope you are clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so that's good. So now then,
Sir?
yes,
Sir,
yes,
sir, it's Shruti here, sir. Can you please mark my attendance, sir?
yeah, I think your attendance is marked. Check.
US and 50, sir.
Yeah, mark present.
Sir, Akshay 06, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Akshay Koradkeri,
Sir Manjoor, sir.
Akshay Koradkeri, Manjoor. Anybody else?
Sir Bhimaya.
Please have network issue, sir.
Bhimaya,
Sir.
Manjoor, Bhimaya, then
Sir, Anusha, sir.
Anusha. Okay. Okay, anybody else?
Sir, Nikita has dropped a message, sir.
Nikita, message, see, it is difficult to check now. You can give your friends can give attendance like this. Thank you. Nikita, yes. Nikita, mark present. Next. Anybody else? All clear?
Sir,
Yes,
in
sir.
the chat, sir, in the chat box, Manjur and
Manjoor has given
Akshay-
attendance. Yes, Manjoor gave
Akshay,
attendance. Akshay Koradkeri
Koradkeri.
also gave attendance. Thank you.
Anusha, sir.
Anusha's attendance is also marked. Yes. Okay. Okay then. So I hope everybody, those who are present are marked to present, right? So nobody is remaining. Okay. So then let's continue with the last driver of supply chain. Okay. So this is a cross-functional driver. Okay, that we are learning pricing. So we are going to learn the role of pricing in supply chain, the role of pricing in competitive strategy, and the pricing components of pricing decisions. So let's begin with the role of pricing in a supply chain. The pricing determines, okay, what is the meaning of pricing? Pricing determines the amount to charge customers in a supply chain. So customer here, please remember, when a supplier sells raw materials to manufacturer. So supplier is seller and manufacturer is a buyer. So remember, so that is also a price. The price at which a raw material supplier supplies or sells raw materials to buyer or manufacturer, because that anyway that will directly influence the final price of the product. Okay, same way at what price the manufacturer sells to distributor. Okay, that also determines or affects the final price, because the price what the customer pays includes the cost of raw materials, the margin of the distributor, the margin of the retailer, as well as all other costs that are incurred in bringing a product from the place of production to the place of consumption. So pricing strategies can also be used to match demand and supply. Please remember. So generally when the demand will be high, the company prefers to sell the product at the full price MRP, or sometimes it may even increase the price wherever there is a provision. And when the demand will be low, the company will sell the product at a discounted price or at a lower price. So this is how they try to match demand and supply using pricing strategies. So that is the role of pricing in supply chain management. Okay, so role of pricing in competitive strategy. Firms can utilize optimal pricing strategies to improve efficiency as well as responsiveness. Here is an example. Okay, say in America, for purchase of 2 books worth $30. So this data is of November 2005. Okay, if the customer wants a 7 to 14 day standard delivery, shipping is free. But if the customer wants a delivery between 3 to 5 days, he has to pay $4.98 extra for shipping. If the customer wants a delivery within 2 days, the customer has to pay $11.47 extra. Okay, for shipping. And if the customer wants the delivery within 1 day, the customer has to pay $20.47 extra for shipping, in addition to the cost of the 2 books, that is $30. Okay, so if you look at this, so this way pricing strategy is used to improve efficiency as well as responsiveness. So the customers will be of a different type. So those customers who are willing to wait, and those who are not in a hurry. Okay, so in this case, first segment of customers who are willing to wait for 7 to 14 days to receive the delivery of the books. So okay, so Amazon arranges for free shipping. Okay, so here we are talking about efficiency. Amazon supply chain is achieving efficiency. Then if the customer wants a delivery, okay, earlier than 7 days, so depending on the urgency, Amazon goes on charging. So faster the delivery, higher will they charge a higher shipping cost or shipping charges. Okay, so when the company makes a delivery within 1 day, Amazon makes a delivery within 2 days, it means Amazon is improving its responsiveness. They're delivering the product within 1 or 2 days. Okay, but for that they're charging extra to the customer. So this way pricing strategies are used to improve efficiency as well as responsiveness. It's a very simple example. Same shipping charges you can also find in India. Okay, you can log on to Amazon and just do a mock shopping. Okay, you will understand. Okay, so the same, or you will experience the same method, how Amazon is using pricing as a strategy to improve efficiency and responsiveness. Now, what are the components of pricing decisions? Okay, so pricing and economies of scale. So what happens when a company achieves economies of scale? Say for example, it maintains a large amount of inventory in a few centralized warehouses. The company will be able to achieve economies of scale. Or when the company will have few number of factories with a large or huge production capacity, the company will achieve economies of scale, right? So keeping the pricing in mind or the cost of production in mind, the company can determine the production capacity of the facility or warehousing. So which will directly influence or affect the pricing strategy of the company. Then, especially with respect to organized retailers, okay, so they need to decide, okay, whether they are going to charge everyday low pricing, adopt everyday low pricing strategy, or high low pricing. So retailing students might remember. So everyday low pricing means Walmart, for example, sells its merchandise in the stores below MRP on all 365 days. So customer need not wait for a sales promotion offer. Merchandise is every day sold below MRP. So it's called a everyday low pricing. So the supply chain should be highly efficient. Okay, in this case, and that of Walmart supply chain is highly efficient. Then high-low pricing is, say, for example, big bazaar, for example, supermarkets like Reliance Fresh, More, okay. So they use something called as a high-low pricing. Means only during the sales promotion offers, price will be low, and during other days, okay, the prices will be high. High means the merchandise will be sold on MRP. Okay. So during the companies, retailers that adopt high-low pricing, they need to maintain high level of inventory only during sales promotion offers. Okay, so remember that. So this is how a company need to consider pricing decisions. Now, how these pricing decisions are evaluated? The first metric is profit margin. Profit margin measures profit as a percentage of revenue. So whatever the pricing, the final price established or determined by the company. So with that price, what is the profit margin the company is able to earn? Okay, many times the profit margin is set as one of the objectives or goals while deciding a pricing strategy. But definitely you can find out what is the profit margin. Okay, MRP minus selling costs, whatever the difference, you get the profit margin. Then day sales outstanding measures the average time between when the sale is made and when the cash is collected. Okay. So in case of the products, especially B2B, which are sold on credit basis, okay, in that case, day sales outstanding comes into picture. So once the products are sold to, let us say, even in case of consumer products, when the manufacturer sells goods to distributor, so most of the times it is on credit basis. So when the sale is made from the manufacturer to the distributors, and when the distributors paid the amount. So those days are called the days sales outstanding. Okay, because credit sales is a part of the pricing strategy. You should remember, we have learned it in semester 1 marketing management. Selling on credit or credit sales is a part of pricing strategy. Okay, so I hope okay, we have come to an end of the three cross-functional three logistical drivers, facilities, inventory, and transportation, as well as the three cross-functional drivers, information, sourcing, and pricing. So there is one slide which remains, which I will discuss in the next class tomorrow. Obstacles to achieving strategic fit. Okay, we have about 1.5 minutes. If you have any doubts or questions, you can ask me. News also I will discuss tomorrow itself. Yes, any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, see, otherwise I'll do one thing. So I will stop the class now. We have 20 minutes left. I'll stop the class now. Okay, and I'll wait for the video to get converted, recording to get converted. Okay, if still more than 10-minute time remains, okay, please check your WhatsApp. Okay, I'll create schedule one more class for 10 minutes and I'll share the link in the Google Classroom. So at least we can complete the last slide today itself. Okay, the message is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So I'm going to
Yes, sir.
stop here now. So after 10 minutes, I may, okay, start a new class for 10 minutes. Otherwise also I'll put a message. Don't worry.